for the White House, the Republican road to the White House through the primary season with Bliss Fellow and Professor David Cohen. So we out national plan, 1 day of primaries. Another idea that has been floated is a rotating regional primary system.
Mm-hmm.
Yay or nay on whether you think
it's
we'd
possible,
ever have
but you know, every time the parties try and change the calendar or alter the primary map, one state or a number of states always buck the system, and they always screw things up. For example, this year the Republican primary process was supposed to be stretched out. It was supposed to start a lot later than it has. And one state, Florida, because it refused to go along with the desires of the Republican National Committee, bucked the system and completely ruined that plan, which was to completely stretch it out. And one of the problems is we now have a terribly front-loaded primary process, which means that it's starting early and earlier.
Well, I was going to ask you, because it's so front-loaded, like why, by say May, why would anyone bother to vote?
They wouldn't if the election's over. Now, 2008 was a fluke in which obviously the Democratic process was still going on, and if I remember correctly, the Republican process was still in the process of going on or winding down at that point. If you looked at the 2004 election, it was long over. By the time John Kerry got to Ohio, I believe it was March 2nd, the election was done. So the front-loading process is a problem, and it's continuing to be a problem. In fact, there was even talk this year of the first primary actually being at the end of 2011, which wouldn't have even been in the same election year. You know, parties are continually challenged with this. They don't really know how to solve this problem because you're right. Once we get into the late spring, it's very possible that this primary election season will be over.
Now, from your perspective, looking over elections over different centuries, how has social media changed elections?
Oh, well, I mean, social media has changed just from 2012, if you look at 2012 to 2008, or even, 8 years ago. There's no question it's revolutionized how campaigns are done. Campaigns in the 21st century have to be attuned to social media, and as we move to the future, it'll become more and more important because you have generations of people that have grown up now using social media, Facebook, Twitter, things that haven't been invented yet.
Will we ever be able to vote on our phone?
Absolutely.
Really? You think so?
I absolutely do. Yeah, we already register for classes, right? I just came from teaching my classes, no longer using a computer. I use my phone. It's revolutionized how Americans communicate with one another, and without a doubt, we'll vote that way in the future. And campaigns will be forced to, and have been forced to, adopt these new technologies.